Here we go.
All right. Come on.
Okay.
Push. I got you.
I'm not good
All right. It's balance. It's just balance. You got this, kid. You're an athlete. You got it. No, it's in you, buddy.
I
got you. I ain't gonna let you fall.
Don't let me go.
I won't let you fall.
Don't let go.
All right, I'm still with you, guy.
Okay.
I'm still with you. Let's pick up some speed, though.
Okay.
I'm with you, guy.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm not letting
Don't
go.
let me go.
I'm not letting go.
Don't let
I'm
me
with
go.
you, my boy. I'm with you, my boy. Yeah, that's all you.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, baby. Oh, my God.
How do you know who you are now? Now you've left Saturday Night.
Yeah.
Look at you.
No identity.
There. Look at you sitting there.
I have no quarter.
I don't think you know yet, right? Because
of course
you
not.
guys always have a summer off anyway.
Yeah.
So then you go off and do a film or you do something else. But
Yeah.
what's going to happen come October, first week in October, and you don't go there?
It's going to be really sad. I'm very conflicted about the decision, but I just felt like it was time. And
What do you mean? What makes it time? You're just sitting there and you say, you know what? It's time. I've gotten Nick Cage himself in the cage.
In the cage.
What is left for me to do?
That kind of, that in a sense that encapsulates it. We did over 100 digital shorts, which are incredibly grueling to make, especially.
But they're great.
Thanks. Well, I hope we make more still. I don't know that I have it in me to keep making them every week. It wears you down for sure. And, I'm hopefully going to make another album with Lonely Island, and if we make videos for that, I certainly would hope that Lauren would still want to take a look at them. And, SNL's the only job I ever really wanted, so I hope to never truly leave.
So you're saying you're leaving, but you'll probably show up there.
If they'll have me. If they'll have me. I don't want to, speak for anyone, but
It could be like that old Seinfeld show with George Costanza going back to the job he's been fired from.
Right.
And just sit there.
And just hang out.
Yeah.
I'll be like the guy
idea.
in Office Space who's in the basement looking for a stapler who hasn't gotten paid in over 3 years or something.
It's the perfect thing.
Yeah.
But in fact, Lonely Island, Akiva, Yorma, they had gone, right? So
Yeah,
you didn't
the
have
last-
those guys.
Well, periodically they both have gone and done various things. Yorm left and did Land of the Lost for a while, and me and Akiva did the shorts. But the last 2 seasons in particular, they were kind of in and out. And they would come and help with shorts, and then I would do them with other guys. But the bread and butter of them is the songs, and that's what I do with Akiva and Yorm. And at the end of these last 2 seasons, they are really for real gone now. So for me to have them come back and help me just for those last 2 this season, the 100th, which they were both in and encompassed all of
The 100th digital short.
Yeah, and we had so many fun people come and be in it, and then
You disgusted Justin Bieber. You upset the Biebs with that short.
Yeah.
You looked really disgusted.
he was not an endorser. He sang so.
He did. He did. So that was it. You just wanted to corrupt him with the 100th digital short. Admit it. Come on. This is what this show's about. It's about admissions.
We never want anyone to step outside of their comfort zone, but I will tell you, when he steps into a digi short, he's got to know what's coming. And that is John Hamm dressed as a character named Sergio thrusting in his face. Like, that's what's coming.
That's what's coming.
Yeah.
And if he hasn't really been watching the show and watching the other shorts, screw him. It's just, doesn't work.
Look, he's a sweet guy, and we were happy to have him take part.
But then you also did Lazy Sunday too.
Yeah.
It was this whole thing with you and Chris Parnell.
Yeah.
Back, instead of Chronicles of Narnia, it was Sister Act.
Yeah.
I think an inspired choice
Thank
for
you.
the two of
Well,
you
thank
to
you.
do.
We toiled over what it was going to be.
What it should be, yeah.
Yeah. I'd had it in my head for a while that that's how I wanted to end at least the season and probably my time there, because I liked the idea of it as sort of bookends. And we went back to shooting it the way we did the first Lazy Sunday, where we just sort of did run and gun around the city with a very tiny crew and, still shots everywhere. And it felt fitting. It felt like a complete moment when we did the 100th and did Lazy Sunday 2. And it felt satisfying to me in that way.
Did you cry?
I didn't cry on camera, but I will say after that show ended, Kristen and I walked off the stage together, and I did go back to my dressing room and burst into tears because I was pretty sure that was it. And I have cried a few times since as well. It's not an easy decision to walk away from your dream job and you know, I'll always miss it. I'll always be grateful to Lorne. He made my career. He made my dream come true, and it was a crazy feeling to tell him that I wasn't coming back. And you know, I like to think what we talked about before is true, that you know, you never truly leave, because it's a family and there's a legacy there, and I feel really lucky to have been a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could have left under, you know, you could have had a gigantic diva fit or something, you know, and nobody wanted to talk to you. So at least it was sweet and allows you to cry alone.
Absolutely. Nothing makes me happier than crying alone.
Well, can I do my own little thing with you where it's a memory of like my favorite Andy Samberg moments, and you can just say they weren't mine, or just there could be this like moment of doing it.
I'll do whatever you
want. I'll start
want.
without the short. I'll start Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
You know, hello chicken. You know,
Yeah.
What's your memory of that? Were you scared of what Wahlberg would think?
No, but I think maybe I should have been.
Yeah.
Being good at the Wahlberg impression is a blessing and a curse, because on the one hand, people liked it, but on the other hand, he could probably murder me with his bare hands if he felt like it. So he's not a guy you want to antagonize too much.
And yet you chose him to antagonize. Yes, yet you do. So you like to live on that edge.
Well, let me put it this way. When you're working at SNL and you have an impression that people are laughing at, it's kind of like you're living and dying each week. So you're just trying to get something on. I wrote it with a writer named Andrew Steele. And personally, making it so ridiculous, my intent was to sort of not make it a hit piece. You know, it was just kind of this random thing that meant nothing. And I had a take on his voice.
Chicken, I'm not joking around, okay? This is the real thing. I mean, this could be huge. All right, well, think about it. Say hi to your mother for me, all right?
That's part of the reason why people like it, is because it's so silly and kind of non sequitur.
But in the cage, as a film critic, it's amazing to watch it each time you do it, whether it's Jude Law or Liam Neeson. But to have Nicolas Cage there,
the man himself,
yes, doing that.
That was the high point of my live career.
Also, I love your scent. Musky and masculine. Like that of a silverback gorilla in a form-fitting leather jacket.
That's high praise.
In terms of things I did in 8H, in the studio, doing In the Cage with Nick Cage was definitely the best moment that I had there. And I had some really fun ones that I'm proud of. But that was...
Again, were the two key elements of a Nicolas Cage movie?
They were... all the lines are either whispered or screamed, and everything's on fire.
Everything's on fire.
Everything is on fire.
So before and after, I don't know what the rehearsal is for a skit like that?
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, when you're just sitting there working through the routine with Nicolas Cage, what's going on? What didn't we see?
I was expecting it to be crazier than it was. It turns out Nicolas Cage is the greatest. Like, very well-adjusted, funny, smart guy that you
Well-adjusted, that's like a career destroyer.
Well, I mean, however you want to call it. But like, for me, I'm a huge fan of his movies, Of course, you would assume that, knowing so much about them to do the impression. But like, start with a movie like Raising Arizona, which I consider to be like an all-time comedy classic. So I know the guy's funny and he's got comedy chops and all that, but he came into it with the attitude that you pray for when you do an impression of somebody, which is like, I see what you're doing and it's funny, you know, like, and he was excited to come in and sort of take the piss out of himself and the bit at the same time, which was great. And, you know, we ran through the script once, he laughed at all the jokes, and we went and rehearsed it and it went great, and we did dress rehearsal and it destroyed, and he was a gentleman the whole time, and we finished and he shook my hand and said, "Pleasure doing business with you," and took off.
Yeah, I didn't ask you to go on the road with him.
He did not, no. I would go on the road with him, I think, if anything.
There's just something about the two of you talking to each other with the ending of, "That's high praise."
That's high praise. By the way, another thing I don't think he's ever really said. It's weird how you do impressions in like catchphrases come out of nothingness.
He's saying it all the time now. I just want to say that.
Is he?
He is. He's just.
That's all I praise.
It's high praise. It is. It's high
God,
praise.
he's the best. I have an idea for a song I'd like to sing.
Okay.
It's synergistic with the movie, That's My Boy. Because in the film, we come to learn that I have a gigantic New Kids on the Block tattoo on my back.